Hello friends, welcome back to Knowledge Factory. Today I am excited to unfold The Alchemist. The Alchemist is one of the most popular books in the books community. It holds Guinness World Record for most translated book by the living author. The Alchemist is a classic novel in which a boy named Santiago embarks on a journey seeking treasure in the Egyptian pyramids after having a recurring dream about it, and on the way meets mentors, falls in love, and most importantly learns the true importance of who he is and how to improve himself and focus on what really matters in life. Coming to the author, Paulo Coelho is a lyricist and novelist and who has been a member of the Brazilian Academy of Letters since 2002. The Alchemist book was first published in its original Portuguese version in 1987. Even though it didn't sell well at first, it created history later on and has sold over 65 million copies. It spent more than 315 weeks on New York Times bestseller list. In this, I have used cartoon characters to understand the novel even better. So let's get into the video. The story begins with a young Spanish shepherd named Santiago having a recurring dream. It happens each time he sleeps under a sycamore tree outside of an old church building. In the dream, the boy hears from a child that he must travel to Egyptian pyramids to seek treasure. Santiago consults a gypsy woman to interpret the dream, and to his surprise, she tells him to go to Egypt. To make matters even stranger, an old man named Melchizedek, who claims to be the king of Salem, told the boy the same thing. This time, however, the old man uses the word personal legend to explain what Santiago must do. Melchizedek convinces Santiago to sell his sheep and set off for a Tangier. Throughout the remainder of the book, Santiago constantly running into obstacles to his personal legend. At each step, however, he overcomes them to achieve success and fulfillment. When Santiago arrives in Tangier, a thief robs him. He is amazed by the culture and language, which he cannot speak. This leads to someone stealing all his money and forcing him to find work with a local crystal merchant. The conservative and kind merchant teaches Santiago several lessons, and Santiago encourages the merchant to take risks with his business. The risks pay off, and Santiago becomes a rich man in just a year. As the merchant discovers what his personal legend is, he recognizes that the boy's presence is an omen and he should follow it. Santiago decides to cash in his earnings and continue pursuing his personal legend to find treasure at the pyramids. As his journey continues, he meets an Englishman who is studying to become an alchemist. An alchemist is someone who can turn lead into gold. He learns a lot from the Englishman during the journey. One, he discovers that the secret of alchemy is written on a stone called the Emerald Tablet. The ultimate creation of alchemy is the masterwork. This consists of a solid called the Philosopher's Stone that can turn lead into gold, and a liquid called the Elixir of Life that can cure all ills. Santiago finds that the Englishman is traveling to the Saharan oasis of Al-Fayoum, where a powerful 200-year-old alchemist resides. The Englishman plans to ask the alchemist the secret of his trade. He declines to teach and suggests trying on his own. During a walk in the desert, Santiago falls in love with Fatima, who lives in the oasis. While there, the boy uses his newfound ability to read omens to foresee an attack on the oasis. He immediately warns the tribal chief about the attack, and as a result, Al-Fayoum successfully defends itself against the assault, and Santiago becomes the counselor of Al-Fayoum. This caught the attention of the alchemist. They two eventually meet, and Alchemist becomes a mentor to Santiago. The Alchemist also declares the importance of personal legends. He convinces Santiago to leave Fatima for some time to finish his journey to the pyramids, and he offers to accompany Santiago on the next leg of his trip. While the Alchemist and Santiago continue through the desert, the Alchemist shares much of his wisdom about the soul of the world. They are mere few days away from the pyramids when a tribe of Arab soldiers captures them. In exchange for their lives, the Alchemist hands hands over to the tribe all of Santiago's money. He tells the soldiers that Santiago is a powerful alchemist who will turn into wind within 3 days. Santiago feels alarmed because he has no idea how to turn into wind, and over the next 3 days he studies more about the desert. On the third day, he communicates with the wind and the sun and coaxes them to help him create a tremendous sandstorm. He prays to the hand that rights all, and at the height of the storm he disappears. He reappeared on the other side of the camp. The tribesmen, awed by the power of the storm and by the Santiago's ability, let him and the alchemist go free. The alchemist continues to travel with Santiago as far as Coptic monastery, several hours from the pyramid. There he demonstrates to Santiago his ability to turn lead into gold using the philosopher's stone. He gave Santiago gold and sends him off. Santiago begins digging for treasure at the foot of the pyramids, but two men accost him and beat him. When Santiago speaks to them about the dream vision, they decide he must have no money and let him leave. Before leaving, one of the men tries to illustrate the worthlessness of dreams by telling Santiago about his own dream. It concerns a treasure buried in an abandoned church in Spain where a sycamore tree grows. The church is the same one in which Santiago had his original dream, and he finally understands where his treasure is. He returns to Spain to find a chest of jewels and gold buried under the tree and plans to return with it to Al Fayoum, where he will reunite with Fatima, who avoids him. That's all from this book. As Santiago did during his journey, you will fall along the way, but if you commit to getting up every time and keep moving forward, the universe will once again conspire to lead you to the just where you need to be. 3 inspiring and eye-opening lessons from The Alchemist are: you have a personal legend that you must follow if you want to be happy and fulfilled. Second, your fear is holding you back more than anything else. And third, the secret of life though is to fall 7 times and get up at the 8th time. Hope you have liked this cartoon video. Please subscribe and support for more such videos. This week I would recommend Sapiens, a brief history of humankind. Initially I wasn't much interested reading this book, thinking that it would be another biological related book dealing with human evolution. However, as I read, every chapter, every sentence got me hooked. Throughout the book, the fascinating history of mankind is described in vivid and entertaining language. So read this book. That's it for this week. See you in my next video. Bye.